Hello and good evening. For this week's Sunday Reflection, I did my interview with Betty Cranston, who is from Baltimore, Maryland. She's a retired business development specialist for the Small Business Administration. Betty's 30-plus years in commercial lending and finance made her the perfect person to sit down with and have a quick chat about small business startup financing options. The first step in startup financing for one small business is determining how much money is needed and what type of loan is best for their needs. When most people think of financing options for small business loans, the first thing that usually comes to mind is an SBA or Small Business Administration loan, but there are actually several options. The first one we're going to discuss is a business line of credit. With a business line of credit, a lender provides funding up to a certain amount, and the business owner can access the funds when the funds are needed. It's kind of like a credit card. The interest only accrues on the portion of the credit line that's utilized from month to month. And then, of course, there are the Small Business Administration loans, which provide small business owners with financing up to $5 million. SBA loan programs are generally intended to encourage longer, small-term business financing. The interest rates can range from base rate plus 2.25% up to 6%. Funding can be used to cover working capital, equipment purchases, and business expansion expenses. The maximum maturities for SBA loans are as follows: 25 years for real estate, 10 years for equipment, 10 years for working capital or inventory loan. And to be eligible for an SBA loan, your business must operate for profit, be engaged in or propose to do business in the U.S. or its territories, have reasonable owner equity to invest, use alternative financial resources, including personal assets, before seeking financial assistance. And the final type of financing we discussed was asset-based financing. Asset-based financing is a form of secured financing that allows business owners to borrow against valuable assets like inventory, machinery and equipment, accounts receivable, and real estate. This type of financing is viewed as less risky for lenders, so the terms are often more competitive than other types of lending. The downside of this type of financing is that the borrower becomes vulnerable to the threat of repossession of the collateral in the event of a default. Now, the next step in securing financing is checking your credit score. Lenders use the borrower's credit score to determine their credit worthiness. Those with lower credit score are viewed as riskier to lenders. That said, loans are often personally guaranteed, meaning the borrower legally guarantees to repay the debt with their personal funds if the business fails. So lenders also look at the applicant or business owner's personal credit score. And then after 6 months of doing business, a business score is established, which may help secure future lending. Now, the next step in the process is to compile all the necessary documentation. The exact documentation requirements can vary from lender to lender, but often include tax documents and banking documents. Now it's time to compare lenders, and most people do that based on annual percentage rates and other fees and costs associated with the loans. And finally, once you have selected a lender, it's time to start the application process, which can be a relatively seamless process if you've done the necessary legwork.